Hello guys, I am Dr. Asher Khanna from Inspiring Minds. In this video, I am going to tell you how you should choose the right university for you. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So yes, today I'm going to tell you the 10 most important criteria which you should look for before choosing the best university for you. So in these 10 criteria, I'm going to cover all the most important ones which you should actually look for, and you should try to omit the other ones because these are gonna help you a lot in building your career. So yes, the first, when the university was founded, what is the medium of instruction there, and is that university a government run or a private university? So how old that university is, since when that is into the action, the medium of instruction, which should obviously be English, because in most of the countries it's not like that, and when you go there you get to know that. And if it's a government university, then obviously it is going to be the better than the private university. It's the same case everywhere. The next is, since when the Indian students are going there, and how many Indian graduates have already graduated from that university. This is the point which is more important than the first point actually, because there are some people, those who are just playing with, because this is an old university, that's why it's better than the other one, but in reality they are missing this point and they are not letting the students know that what matters is how many Indian students have already graduated from that university, because that thing is going to give you a track record about that university. Because if more number of Indian students have already graduated, it means that that university has been catering Indian students from a long time. The third point is, what about the academics and the education standards of that university? So for this, you should actually look for the number of professors, the number of PhD graduates, the number of PhD students in that university, because this is always gonna be high for the national universities, like the government universities that have 4th accreditation, like in Ukraine. And also you should look for the association of the hospitals and other universities abroad other than that country, because that thing will also help you in the international exposure. The next point is the libraries, because a library is really very important, in particular for the medical university, because you have to have the medical books there which are of international authors and also the Indian authors. So you should look if that university has a big base, a big database of e-library as well, what the number of journals that university has published and what kind of base they have electronically. The next is clinical departments, the associations of the different hospitals and the simulation centers. Being a medical university, being a medical student, you have to have the hands-on experience, the clinical exposure. So for that you should look for the number of hospitals that university has and what kind of hands-on you're gonna get, because the patient footfall is going to help you with your clinical skills also. One thing which I want to mention here is, don't compare this with the Indian medical colleges, because in India the population that we have is not it's not comparable with any other country. So you cannot compare or see the footfall of the patients in the other countries, because the country that has less number of population, low population, you won't find that many patients there, but you will find patients there and you will get more or less all the diseases there, so you will get a good experience. The next criteria is the cost of living, because for a long term, for a long duration of 5 years, 6 years, the cost of living is going to matter a lot. And while choosing the right university for you, you always have a budget in your mind. So this cost of living is going to play a major role in your budget. So if you're gonna choose a city which has a high cost of living, then it is not going to help you in maintaining that budget. So instead of going for a metropolitan city or any city that is very big, you should look for a city that is student friendly. So my next point is what kind of city life that city has to offer to students, to medical students in particular. If that city is a tourist place or any big city, then there are gonna be many distractions. It kind of becomes difficult for a student of 18-19-year-old to manage and to focus on the right things. So if you have less distraction, then it is always going to help you. You might be thinking for now like, yes, the education, the academics is not the only thing, neither am I saying so, but still you should always focus on the academics more instead of the city life or on the entertainment. Entertainment, it should mean like that city should have places for the refreshment if you are feeling bored or anything for the weekends. So yes, you should actually look for the accessibility and convenience in that city for you. Like the hospital should be nearby, because in the clinical years you're going to attend the classes, your rotations, so hospital should be nearby, and that city should be accessible, like from one place to another. Like if you have to go to the supermarkets from the hostel or anything, the taxi should be accessible, should be affordable, and the public transport should be good, like it should have connectivity with all the places. The next point for MBBS abroad actually is corruption. Very few people talk about it, but yes, corruption is there, and it's your responsibility to look for the university that has the least corruption. If I would say that universities don't have corruption anywhere in the world, it's not true, because everywhere corruption is there, but you have to look for the which university and city has less corruption. And it matters, like some universities are there where teachers are actually forcing students to pay and they are not passing students. But in some universities, teachers are not asking for any money, but students themselves, they don't want to study, and they themselves are offering money to the students just because they have so many absence, so many problems, and they are asking teachers to clear those issues by taking some amount of money. So you cannot mix match these two things and say corruption is high there, and you should see what kind of students are there and what they are doing. So you should always look for this thing. The next point is racism and the safety issues. Yes, this is a major concern for students and for their parents as well, because before sending their students abroad, they have to be secure and they have to feel safe first, then only they can send their students. So in some cities, I would say they are not that comfortable. Some countries are not that comfortable for Indian students, but it's not the same case for all the cities, for all the countries. So it also depends what kind of behavior you are showing as an individual from a country to that native person. So yes, racism and safety concerns are there, and you should look for before going there. Last but not the least, hostel facilities, the distance of hostel from the university, and the availability of Indian food. Yes, hostel is very important, but this is not the only thing, because your concern is always the academics, and the facilities you should get, or your needs should be fulfilled there. And the distance between the university hostel and the university shouldn't be that much, you have to devote a lot of time every day to go there and to come back. And also the Indian food should always be available there, be it you should join the mess or you should cook your food by yourself. So these are the options which you should have, and these are basically the 10 most important points. I have tried to cover the important points because there are many things which agents are gonna tell you. So you should always rank down the universities on the basis of these 10 points, and you as a student should look for what thing is on the major priority for you, and then you should look for it. So yes, this is how we Inspiring Minds are gonna rank and see the university if it is good for you or not. If you think we have missed any point, then please write those points in the comment section down below, so that we can consider those points in our next live session or in the next video. So if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe it. and click the bell icon down below so that whenever we put any video, you should be the first person to watch it. If you have liked this video, click a big thumbs up. If not, then you can dislike it too. So see you in the next video.